Good morning. It is Thursday, the 1st of February. Here's what we're working on. A Hamilton man has been taken to hospital after being shot early yesterday.
Burlington automotive plant that makes vehicle sealing systems is closing at the end of the year.
And Air Supply coming to Fallsview Casino. We'll have a chat. Good morning. Very special day for you, Brian. Are you ready?
Yes, it is. I practice to get ready for this. It's the 1st of the month.
Very good.
There we are.
Very good.
It's a good thing you're way over the other side of the studio.
We don't have these spit guards out anymore.
Yay, February.
I did something weird today. I just carried my jacket to the car from the house.
Isn't that
carried
something?
my
Yeah.
jacket from the car into work. It's February the 1st,
Yeah.
Brian.
Isn't that something? You think at this time of the year we'd be coming in with our hats and our gloves and our mittens and scarves and everything. But no, it's on the plus side this morning. +1 to start
And we're going to
the
see
day.
more sun today.
There's a chance of some more sun, but
Okay.
there's also a chance of some showers. We're getting some light rain at the moment outside our studios and around. We've had some drizzle, so there is that chance of some precipitation on and off throughout the day into the evening. We could see a little sun. We saw a little bit yesterday.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. A Niagara area got a lot more sunshine than the rest of us, but then it became fairly cloudy as the day went on. But we got to 3 yesterday. We should hit 3 again today, and about 2 for the day tomorrow. But tomorrow we're going to see a bit more sunshine as we get into Groundhog Day tomorrow. So checking traffic, we'll talk about the forecast coming up. Checking traffic this morning. We had a disabled vehicle right in the center of our screen, but now it's gone, so that's good. Things are back to normal. That's our camera up the 403 and around Waterdown Road. To our MTO, Ministry of Transportation Ontario. Traffic cameras. Here's a look at the Woodward Avenue camera. So Toronto bound toward the Skyway. Other side of the Skyway, Toronto bound towards us here. And we'll head to third line. Not a lot happening this morning. Just be careful. Roads could be a little bit slick because of the drizzle, light rain we're getting at the moment and the temperature fluctuating around the freezing mark. So be careful. We'll look at the forecast. We'll look at weather and traffic coming up. Right now, the news.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, several pets are dead after fire tore through a Hamilton home near Cannon and Maine just a couple of hours ago.
We have a single homeowner, uninjured. We did lose a number of cats that were living in the residence, though.
And you said it was an electrical fire?
The fire is non-suspicious and assumed to be related to an electrical issue.
Came in just before 4 o'clock for a home on Evans Avenue. Platoon Chief Stan Double says his crew had it under control in minutes. Damages are set at around $250,000. Firefighters are expected to be on scene until maybe about 7 o'clock this morning.
The sister of a man who died behind bars 3 years ago says that he might have survived if the province had better support in place. Yesterday, a vigil was held outside the Barton Street Jail for Zachary Rogers and other inmates who died behind bars. His sister says he was diagnosed with manic depression and bipolar disorder. After doing well on medication, he was finally feeling hopeful when she helped him with bail on Christmas Eve back in 2020. But the pharmacy never received his prescription from the prison, and he struggled with his mental health without the medication. Rogers was awaiting trial for an alleged string of break-and-enters when he was found without vital signs in his cell. His sister says getting that prescription immediately and having more supports would have made all the difference for her brother and likely many others. The Bridge, a nonprofit organization in Hamilton offering support groups and resources to people released from prison, say those programs are imperative.
We know that there's a lower recidivism rate. Those who are involved in the system will have a higher quality of life. They'll be more successful when they're able to access services once they get out.
So an inquest was announced to look into the circumstances of Zachary's death as the case was ruled inconclusive, although no date has been set.
Transportation issues are impacting an important day program for adults with special needs. Parents of those adults say the Cornerstone Special Needs Day program allows those in the city to participate in activities, socialize, and get involved in the community, something that's essential to their development and their overall well-being. But Cornerstone says Darts has declined to provide group transportation to the program. They say the City of Hamilton has told them that group bookings and charter services aren't a requirement under the legislation, and they've historically been provided by Darts as a courtesy where they don't interfere with other transit services. Cornerstones has a temporary solution for now, but says it's waiting to hear back from the city as they work to find a more permanent solution. City of Hamilton's told CHCH News that trips are dependent on the availability of vehicles on the roads and spaces in them, adding it works to ensure that group trips are accommodated where possible.
Hennigas Automotive Holdings says it will close its Burlington plant, which makes vehicle sealing systems, by the end of the year. I want to bring in Simone Gavros, who joins us in front of the automotive plant with more on this and how this will affect the community. Good morning, Simone.
Hi, good morning, Tim. Well, yes, the factory here in Burlington has about 220 employees that work here that are going to be affected once the company closes its doors here in Canada at the end of the year. Now, this is the only location located here in the country. There's other locations across the world. The nearest location to Canada would be the global headquarters just outside of Detroit. But again, they have a number of other locations, and with more than 9,000 employees worldwide. Now, the company plans to consolidate its operations to existing facilities and expects no disruptions in supplying existing or future programs. It says that by optimizing its footprint, it'll continue to be competitive and support its customers. Now, the company makes sealing systems for doors, windows, trunks, lift gates, sunroofs, and hoods. Now, the details as to exactly what this means for the employees that work here in Burlington are unclear right now, but we did reach out to the company for more details on what the next steps might be. Annette, I'll send things back to you.
Thanks very much. Well, Hamilton is kicking off Black History Month at City Hall at noon today with entertainment, vendors, and messages from several youth and community leaders. The 17th Black History Month honoree will be unveiled during that ceremony. The theme for the past several years has been "We Are Hamilton, Black History Remembered." City says it's a chance to pay tribute to the Black community by highlighting historical contributions and achievements of those who have helped shape the city and our country. It is Thursday. That means Caledonia's hottest tickets up for grabs again. The Caledonia Legion's progressive lottery, Catch the Ace, continues to grow each week. The estimated jackpot for tonight is at least $375,000. Last week's weekly winner picked up more than $18,000. Tickets are sold every Thursday in person and cash only at the Caledonia Legion, and all of the money from the ticket sales benefits food programs with Community Support Center, Haldimand, Norfolk.
All right, let's get to Sportsline, and let's start in the hard court this morning, as all eyes were on Oklahoma City last night as Hamilton's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander faced off against Kitchener's Jamal Murray in what should be the starting backcourt for Canada at the upcoming Olympics this summer in Paris.
Shea once again trying to bend that Denver defense. With a step back three action. SGA's got his second as he rips the course.
Yeah, SGA, who is having his best season to date, averaging over 31 points a game. Went over 30 again for their seventh straight game as his Thunder were trying to end a two-game slide. He would finish with 34 points on the night to lead all scorers. Murray had to do the heavy lifting for the defending champs as they were without their star, Nikola Jokic, out with injury. They kept it close. It was the Thunder pulling it out in the end, 105-100 the final. Excited to see these two play together in the coming months. Okay, let's stay with the local b-ball stars as Hamilton's Kia Nurse is on the move to La La Land. La La Land. The WNBA guard was traded yesterday from Seattle, where she joined them as a free agent last season, to the three-time WA champs, the LA Sparks. Kia played all 40 games last season for the Storm, averaging 6 points a game. Originally drafted 10th overall back in 2018 by the New York Liberty before joining Phoenix in 2021, before missing a year after suffering a knee injury. You can see her right now on Raptors broadcast on TSN, which she is so good at, too.
Over to Shabbat, crossing the blue line. Pinto to the net, tipped home, and he scores! Shane Pinto!
Yeah, NHL wrapped up the first half of their season last night with 3 games, including in the Motor City, where Shane Pinto of the Sens scored the OT winner over the Red Wings to win their second straight game in extra hockey, taking this one 4-3. So Ottawa They start their break 16 points back of the final playoff spot, which happens to be held by the Red Wings with only 35 games remaining. Big trade alert at the All-Star break this weekend, as it's between two Canadian teams out west. Vancouver Canucks are tied for the best record in the league and just added to their depth, trading for Calgary Flames center Elias Lindholm last night for Andrei Kuzmenko, 2 prospects and draft picks. Lindholm has 9 goals, 23 points. He's going to be in Toronto this weekend, as he was named to his first ever All-Star game and is a pending unrestricted free agent at season's end. So the focus does now shift to All-Star Weekend, kicking off tonight in Toronto with the Players Draft and the PWHL Showcase. Tomorrow brings the skills competition that has been revamped with $1 million at stake to make it a little more competitive. Leafs will be represented by Austin Matthews, competing in 3 events: NHL one-timers, passing challenge, and hardest shot. His teammate, Willie Nylander, also competing. Fastest skater against 3-time winner Connor McDavid. Willie also going in the accuracy shooting. So it all goes down Friday nights with the game itself Saturday afternoon from Scotiabank Arena.
Look at that clock flip over right there. 6:11 is the time on this first morning of February. Welcome to a brand new month. Let's see if this traffic is moving okay. So far, so good, actually. No problems. 403 and Waterdown Road. I'd like to start with that camera. That's our camera. And not seeing a lot there, and you won't see a lot around the Hamilton area. Link, Red Hill Valley Parkway, all doing okay. Let's check some MTO traffic cameras into St. Catharines at the QEW and 7th. It's light volume through here. No reports of any collisions. Woodward Avenue still looks good, east of Brant, all the way through east of Royal Windsor, into Mississauga at Cothra, no problems. The only problem you might have this morning is the precipitation that we're getting right now. And because our temperature is sitting at +1 at the moment, we're getting some mixing. So we're looking at some wet snow flurry activity, some light showers right now, but there's that +1. The winds have really died down. They were really strong throughout the overnight hours, but now they're south-southwest at 24. Humidity is right up there, so cloudy and that mixing precipitation that we have right now. So for school today, we should hit 3 degrees for the day, which is about where we got yesterday. We will have clouds throughout the day pretty much, and there's that chance of showers as the day progresses. We're watching that cold front, that long blue line. It's going to descend its way across the Great Lakes. That's the leading edge of the chillier air that's going to move in. That should happen throughout the day later on, and that's going to dip our temperatures for the day, for tonight into the day tomorrow. And then that ridge of high is good news as we get into the weekend. Today, temperatures 3 and 4 degrees, but we're going to get that chance of showers, chance of some drizzle, actually 5 and 6 for Peel into Toronto, so milder there. Tonight, temperatures will dip 1, but Hamilton -1, and that's because of that cold front going through, so a little chillier, and there's that chance of drizzle into the evening hours. And then tomorrow, we should see a bit of sunshine. For Groundhog Day tomorrow, temperatures 2 and 3 degrees generally, but 5 for Toronto for the day tomorrow. So, first morning of February, out the door this morning, we do have that mixing, some light snow flurry activity, some rain showers. Temperature right now just +1. Long range coming up. Annette, Tim.
Okay, we say good morning to Emily with more on what you've got coming up in Chit Chat.
Good morning, but first, Groundhog Day.
Yes.
I worked in weather for like 15 years, so I should know this. I still need a cheat sheet to figure out. So if he saw a shadow, does that mean 6 more weeks of winter? If he didn't see it, what is it?
Because he goes back in, because if it's sunny, then he sees a shadow, he gets scared.
Runs back in.
Runs back in
And
to
winter
like the
is longer.
box that they keep him in.
And winter is longer, right? If he goes
Box
back
of
in.
people in tuxedos keep him in.
I know, it's such an event. I've covered many a
It's so
Groundhog
weird.
Day. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Okay, we'll figure it out. Coming up after the break, I am going to be talking about Air Supply and how they are coming to. That's the one I was going to sing. It's the only one I know.
Just trying to ruin things for you.
I love you, Tim. You're the best. And Elmo, the Muppets' favorite puppet, he checks in with people's mental health, and it's not good.
Okay. Air Supply sing-along coming to the couch near you.
In an Elmo voice. I'm all in for it.
Oh, yes. I can't wait.
Elmo like Air Supply.
Yeah, there's a tease.
Okay,
right
after
there.
the break, unrest among European farmers. It's growing. It's getting ugly. We'll tell you the latest countries to join the fray and the pressure they're putting on lawmakers. 6:16 on your Thursday morning. Canadian dollar down a dozen basis points to 74.31 cents U.S. Gold has dropped $15. Crude has gained 79 cents to $76.64 a barrel. In midday trading, markets are up today in London, but down in Frankfurt and Paris.
Off to Asia we go. Markets are down in Tokyo and Shanghai, but up in Hong Kong. What about North American markets to wrap up the month of January? Not good. Triple-digit losses right across the board on Bay Street and Wall Street. We'll see how they do on this first day of February.
Farm protests are growing across Europe. Hundreds have gathered outside the European Parliament in Brussels this morning. Throwing what else? Eggs. Farmers in Belgium's capital are trying to get the attention of EU summit leaders ahead of European parliamentary elections later this year. So this protest started in France, and it spread, besides Belgium, to Germany, Spain, Italy, France, and Portugal, where farmers have blocked major roads and key border crossings. Hundreds of farmers in France drove their tractors this week towards Paris, reaching France's largest produce market. Farmers across the EU say they're not paid enough. They're being choked by taxes and environmental rules, and they face unfair competition from abroad.
Well, a ship carrying 16,000 head of sheep and cattle had to turn around after a month because of shipping concerns in the Red Sea. So the ship docked at its starting point in Western Australia this morning. It was initially headed for the Middle East, but militant activity in the Red Sea sent it back. The animals on board are estimated to be worth nearly $2 million Canadian. So this comes as Perth, Australia, is experiencing a sweltering heat wave with temperatures reaching 39 degrees yesterday. For now, the animals remain on board, and the Australian government is racing to determine what to do with this ship.
Our health minister, Mark Holland, says the federal government's still working out just how much dentists are going to be reimbursed as part of Canada's new federal dental program. The government has started accepting program applications as part of a phased-in approach, with more than 400,000 seniors over the age of 72 registered so far. Dentists, hygienists, and other dental care providers, though, still don't have details about how this program is going to work, how much the government will pay for services, or how providers can sign up. The program is set to start accepting claims in May.
Social media CEOs are on the hot seats on Capitol Hill. In a rare moment of bipartisanship, some of the tech industry's biggest names are being grilled about the perils of social media and the many young people who are suffering.
Your product is killing people. Will you set up a victims' compensation fund with your money, the money you made on these families sitting behind you? Yes or no?
Yeah, there was plenty of heat to go around as the tech bosses were scorched with claims their products promote anxiety, depression, and violence, especially among young people. Many of the lawmakers are intent on overturning a long-standing federal law that immunizes those companies from lawsuits over user-generated content and putting tough regulations in place. At one moment, you might have saw Mark Zuckerberg turned and faced parents whose kids were actually killed because they say of social media. This moment right here, and he addressed the crowd personally.
Well, Disney is set to start banning password sharing on its streaming services. An email sent to Hulu subscribers says it's going to start limiting sharing accounts outside of your household starting March 14th. Hulu's user agreement, along with those for Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, explicitly prevent users from impersonating someone else by using their username or password. All three user agreements were updated on January 25th. This follows a similar strategy that Netflix brought in last year, which reportedly led to Netflix's last major profit bump.
You guys want to know Annette's password? Oh boy! 24. Taking a break. Brian's back with a look at your long-range forecast.
Change that.
We got some sun in the forecast. What?
Brand new day and a brand new month, and that camera all of a sudden disappeared. Okay, well, yeah, Okay, brand new day, same old problems with MTO traffic cameras. Here's the QEW at third line. Yay. I mean, I went through all those cameras just before we came on air. They were all there. Oh, yes, and there's another one, but we'll go to the 403 in Dundas. I apologize for these cameras. They're completely out of our control. Okay, let's go to our temperatures that we have at the moment for this first morning of February. Appropriate, our temperature is +1. So +1 right now, Hamilton, Grimsby, 3 for Mississauga, 3 for Toronto as well. Seasonal temperatures are -2 and -10. So once again, the mild temperatures continue for today and for tomorrow, and pretty much for the weekend as well. So those are our sun times and our records for today. And today we're expecting some light shower activity. Going in, first bell this morning, we should be around 2 degrees and then 3 degrees for after school today. So here's a look at our forecast. So today, February, 3 degrees for the day today. There's that chance of showers. -1 for tonight. Skies will be cloudy. Tomorrow, let me give you an overview for Groundhog Day, just in case you're wondering, what does that all mean? Okay, so Groundhog Day. If the groundhog comes out of the condo and doesn't see the shadow, yeah, that means an early spring, okay? So if a groundhog comes out of his condo and sees his shadow, he gets scared, he runs back in for 6 weeks, gets comfortable inside his beautifully appointed condo once again, and stays there. That's how it works. So that's basically how it works. Otherwise, we're looking at sunshine for both, look at Saturday and Sunday, 2 degrees above seasonal and sun, and then we hang on to some sun for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's your forecast. Annette, Tim.
Okay, well, has the moon been hitting your eye like a somewhat smaller pizza pie? Here's the reason.
Oh, I thought you were going to sing that. Scientists say our moon circumference has shrunk by about 45 meters. Oh, over the last million years.
Didn't you see it? Didn't you notice?
Yeah, I have been looking at it, wondering.
Dinosaurs are going.
So it doesn't sound like much. It's not going to affect us here on Earth, but it indicates the move is geologically active. So it still has a hot interior. It's cooling off, though, and that causes the surface to shrink a little bit, like a kind of grape shriveling into a raisin. It also contributes to moonquakes and landslides. So those aren't expected to impact the Artemis 3 mission that could send astronauts to the moon as soon as 2026, but they may have to be on the lookout for some shaking that could pop them off their feet on the moon's low gravity environment.
There you go. We've got more to come here on Earth right after the break.